In part 1 of our instructor series, we learned how to quickly assess your students' exam scores and the gains they are making. In part 2, we're going to take the next step, again going to Classroom and Teacher's Corner, but in this case going to My Class Performance Plan, where we will learn how to quickly identify the weaknesses of your entire class in both math and ELA, as well as dig into the details for individual students. Right away, we can see how your students are performing by question, topic, or category in the math exam. And we can see the lowest results or weak areas that might need to be addressed. We can also see the number of mistakes they made, because that can also be important. For example, students are performing poorly in integers and scientific notation, number lines, and we can see ratios further up the scale. I might focus more on the integers and decimals because there are a lot more problems and mistakes related to that than, say, for number line mistakes within the class. And although ratios and proportions might be a little higher percentage score, still in need of potential work, there are a lot greater number of mistakes there because that's, quite frankly, a larger part of the exam. So however you want to choose to look at it, you can identify areas where your class needs to do some work. You can also assess how they're doing by difficulty. They're clearly scoring lower on hard questions. On easy and medium questions, it looks like they're actually scoring above the cutoff, but perhaps we can work and improve on the hard questions, which look to be almost 20 percentage points below even the medium questions. Moreover, I can delve into each of the results that make this up. Perhaps I want to look at particular students' results and see the mistakes they've made. So I can choose to filter by student if I wanted to. And I could sort that as I like, but I can see on their most recent Math A exam, I can see all the mistakes this particular student made. So if I'm addressing this student in particular, we can go through the individual mistakes, and I'll see whether they got it wrong or just failed to answer it, what categories and difficulties those questions were. Also things I can filter or sort by. In addition, once I've analyzed my class weaknesses and delved even into individual performances and weaknesses to address particular questions, I have some tools available that can help me prepare my next class to address these. When I click on the exam PDFs and summaries, I have access to a full library of exams and exercises. So I might choose a particular exam to give to my class next, and I can print that out and hand it out to various students to take on that class. Additionally, when we finished the exam and hopefully recorded our results online, which allows the analytics to be possible, I can quickly print out the answer sheets and explanations for that particular exam, and I can assess what question numbers students had most trouble with. So for this exam, I can see students had particular problems with questions 94 and 95, for example. I can go question by question, focusing on the ones where students have the most mistakes. And of course, all that data is available again in a table below, which I can filter the results of. So perhaps I want to look at only the questions that were in the particular categories that I focused on improving. Integers, number lines, ratios. On this particular exam that I gave in class the other day and we're going to review, I can sort my results, or I can filter my results by integers, ratios, number lines, and see what questions students did well on in those categories and which ones they did poorly on in the most recent exam. Moreover, once I've done that and I have the information available in my table, I could sort it from highest mistake to lowest by question number, and perhaps I want to develop a PDF of that, which I can then print and use alongside my answer sheet and explanations for the next class. So I know the 3 categories where I want my students to improve on. I've identified for the most recent exam the wrong answers particular questions where they're having trouble and getting more wrong answers, and work on those in the class as we go through the very important process of reviewing my students' mistakes and showing them how to do the questions properly.